Officials in Santa Monica, California, have ended the city's long-standing tradition of celebrating the holidays on city property with traditional Christian displays after atheist Damon Vicks joined the festivities 3 years ago. That year, Vicks was granted a booth in Palisades Park alongside a Christian diorama that had been part of the festivities since 1953. Vicks started by simply hanging a sign next to a display about the birth of Jesus. The sign showed a quote from Thomas Jefferson, who said, "Religions are all alike, founded on fables and mythologies." The other side of the sign read, "Happy Solstice." He repeated the display the following year and went even further in 2011 when he recruited other non-believers to his cause. That year, the non-believers won 18 out of 21 available spaces for the displays. They posted more signs, including one that showed pictures of Poseidon, Jesus, Santa Claus, and the devil. The sign read, 37 million Americans know myths when they see them. What myths do you see? Most of the signs were vandalized. City officials cancelled all of the displays for this year's festivities to avoid further problems, including the traditional Christian diorama. This led the Santa Monica Nativity Scenes Committee to sue the city. The committee's attorney, William Becker, had this to say about the lawsuit. If they want to hold an opposing viewpoint about the celebration of Christmas, they're free to do that, but they can't interfere with our right to engage in religious speech in a traditional public forum. Deputy City Attorney Jeanette Schachtner said in an email that the city doesn't prohibit churches from caroling in the park, handing out literature, or even staging a play about the birth of Jesus on private land. The decision to ban the displays also saves the city time and money while preserving the park's aesthetics. Damon Vicks, who is not part of the lawsuit against the city, said that the holiday display was such a unique and blatant example of the violation of the First Amendment that he felt he had to act. He isn't planning any more protests. Christians recently killed a Muslim who ran an illegal checkpoint in the remote area of Ibi in central Nigeria. The ensuing riots led to the deaths of at least 4 more people. The rioters burned down houses and shops as residents fled. Churches and mosques were also torched. The checkpoint was set up by a Christian vigilante group to protect their church. This was in direct response to a series of attacks on other churches in different parts of the country. A radical Islamist sect known as Boko Haram is thought to be behind many of those attacks. Boko Haram has been held responsible for more than 700 deaths this year alone, and is blamed for attacks on churches, mosques, schools, government buildings, and universities. Boko Haram has claimed responsibility for at least 2 of these attacks, including an Easter Day blast in Kaduna that left 38 people dead, and a Christmas Day suicide bombing of a Catholic church that killed 44. Sunday's killing in Ibi was the first reported death blamed on Christian vigilante groups in Nigeria. Authorities have sent troops to the area to stop the violence. Oklahoma District Court Judge Mike Norman has sentenced 17-year-old Tyler Allred to 10 years on a manslaughter charge stemming from a car crash. The accident caused the death of Allred's passenger, 16-year-old John Dunn. Allred admits to drinking before driving. However, he was not legally drunk at the time of the accident. Still, due to his age, a DUI charge was specified. The sentence was suspended and probation was granted in an agreement accepted by the plaintiff, the victim's family, and both defence and prosecuting attorneys. Terms of Allred's probation include submitting to a continuous monitor of alcohol consumption, completing a course at a welding school, public speaking regarding the consequences of drunk driving, attending victim impact panels, and attending church weekly. The ACLU has expressed concern that the last requirement and the attorneys involved acknowledge that the church requirement is a violation of the First Amendment. However, nobody with standing intends to appeal. Pastor Scott Lively has formed a 12-member exploratory committee to consider a possible run for the governorship of Massachusetts in 2014. The founder of Abiding Truth Ministries, Lively is best known as the author of The Pink Swastika, Homosexuality in the Nazi Party. The book is a pseudo-history which asserts that homosexuality in the Nazi Party contributed to the German army's militantism. A former missionary, Lively has also been accused by the advocacy group Sexual Minorities Uganda of crimes against humanity through persecution. The group has brought a pending federal court lawsuit stemming from Lively's efforts to promote legalization in Uganda, which would make homosexuality a capital offence. Lively has said that his desire to run for governor was brought about because he is greatly dismayed at the breakdown of family and morality. Should he determine that he has a base of support in the evangelical community, his top 3 platforms would be abortion, the gay agenda, and education reform.